Okay, so this is the Jetlegend T45 Goshawk. Wingspan's 1700 millimeters. This particular one was is second hand and was flying around Townsville. I think it's done about 30 flights. I bought it about, let's see, 2 or 3 months ago, and I've just been slowly making some very small changes and dropping in my own turbine and radio gear and so on. It came all the servos, but it did still need a little bit. So let's just open up and have a look under here, and you'll see a pretty standard layout. So what have we got here? A couple of Lifey batteries, which are 2250 milliamp hour Lifeys that are on separate switches all the way to the receiver, which is a 9-channel JR. There's a large 7.4 volt battery for the turbine there. Let's go down here. We've got a bubble trap. We've got the emergency ECU switch off, and then we've got the unit, which is the combined brake and retracts and gear door combo, which is there. Can't see much up in there. There's one of the air tanks. That's a fuel pump. Let's see. Really, this is the engine bay. In the engine bay, you'll see 2 switches, which are the heavy duty JR type, gold plated. There's a fuel inlet. There's a switch here, fuel switch. There is a panel here which is comprising the brake air in and the gear door air in, and a couple of gauges, all of which work. And then down to the business bit, which is JetSmont VT80. You can see there's a FOD screen installed, and then back up in there is the thrust tube. This thrust tube has a little bit of discoloration here, but I'm not worried about it. It doesn't look like it's softened, or it's not likely to collapse. I think it's because there was a much larger turbine engine fitted in this airframe that got taken out before it got sold to me. So that's basically what you can see from the top side. Let's see now. Typical linkage, might just show you typical linkage, is something that looks like that, with metal servo arm and locked in Sullivan clevises and metal rod into a fiberglass horn. You find that basically everywhere. If I go under the wing, you'll find a similar arrangement for the ailerons. Let's see, as well as the flaps. The flaps are under there. Not much to report really. Ailerons are stiff and firm. There's no slop to speak of really, so relatively slop free. In scheme of things, it's nice seal joint along here. I can move this just the smallest amount of play, maybe a mil. You can see that I've added some turbulators along the leading edge here. That's only because I read online that would help to improve, or might potentially help to improve, the stall characteristics. The Global Jet Club people who do extra work on the Jetlegend aircraft install these. They're not much to look at. They're little plastic tips, which I'm struggling to get into focus here, which allow for a turbulating action. I'll put them on the 25% chord or thereabouts of the leading edge. But that's really the main adjustment that I made to the wings in the context of any changes I've made since it arrived in my hands. There hasn't been much else that needs just basically putting in the engine and doing that. So I think it's strong. Everything's solid. Everything seems to be held down properly. Everything works, and so there's a big fuel tank down there which is firm. You can see all the fittings have been wired where appropriate. Yeah, it's a very standard and relatively clean layout, I think. So I might just switch it on. I'll go switch on the transmitter, and I'll switch on the switches here, and the green light on the ECU switch, you can see, is indicating that it's on. If I flick the transmitter switch, you see it goes to red. That means the ECU is disconnected, so that's the failsafe via the remote. I'm switching on and off there. Green means go, red means stop. Okay, rudder, you can see working away there. Elevator, 5955 on the elevator. Flaps which are working up and down there, I've got them on slow setting. Let's see, that's, if I go down to about there, that's full flap. And ailerons as per manufacturer's instructions. The throws are as per manufacturer's instructions, and seems to be no problem about that. Here's the front nose wheel. Steering, a 5645, high-tech 5645 on the nose wheel. And there are retracts. Let's see if I can just demonstrate. They're probably going to catch on the bench I've got here, but if I flick like that, there they are. Here's the hat floor on the bench, and then there's the nose snapped up, and pull them down again. There you go, 1, 2, and round there 3. So they seem to be all good. Brakes are installed and working. Gee, that's about as much as I can show you from a walk around here of the installation.